I would always say, I'm a big proponent as a a person from South America. Nearshore development. If you're doing any type of outsourced development, you should look into doing nearshore. What is nearshore development? Is working with people in Central America, working with people in South America. These people are great developers, and they speak English, and they're in the same time zone as you.
That's a big
okay? Y'all don't understand that 12-hour time difference is going to kick you in your butt and your lifestyle. It's going to impact you if you have a family. It's going to impact you and your family. It's going to, it's going to impact a lot of stuff. Just hire some people near us. But yeah, so with that kind of answering your question, yeah, you should contract out development work. But like I said, you have to be strategic. Don't worry about like if you're a business owner, like there's so many ways you can go about doing it. You have to go about what you're most confident and most strength. Your most powerful way. Go about it that way. It's always the best way.
What's up, fam? Before we get into today's episode, I want you to go check out our website at www.igotdreamspodcast.com and subscribe to our emailing list. We are creating the ultimate accountability group for entrepreneurs. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business leader, if you are a dreamer, we want you to be a part of our group. All you got to do is go to www.igotdreamspodcast.com and subscribe to our emailing list, and we'll take it from there. This thing is going to be bigger than us, and we want you to be a part of it. Again, go to www.igotdreamspodcast.com and subscribe to our emailing list. Now, let's get back to the show. What's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of the I Got Dream Podcast, the ultimate accountability podcast. Today, I have my good friend with me, Kareem Dasilva.
Hey, everyone.
He's the owner of Edesia, which is a food truck app here in Memphis. They're doing big things, man. I just want you to relax, be yourself on this show, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good. So who are you? Like, who is Kareem Dasilva?
Yeah, so I'm a software developer. I was born in Nashville, come from a Caribbean family, and we're from Guyana. And, they came to New York, then they migrated to Nashville, and I'm the youngest of the family. And then I, played a lot of video games and played with a lot of computer games growing up. And then pretty much I was introduced to computer coding through an organization called BDPA. That stands for Black Data Processing Associates. It's been around since 1975, and their goal is to introduce young people into coding. And from there, I learned how to code, and had a lot of corporate internships since then. And I was like, I don't want to work corporate. I want to use this skill to build something for us.
Nice. So, you say you're from the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
When did you come over to the U.S.?
No, I was born in Nashville.
Oh,
my family, both my parents are from Guyana, and then my siblings were born in New York.
Do you ever go back?
Yeah, I was in New York. Just here.
No, I mean to the Caribbean.
Oh yeah. I started a computer lab, teaching coding and other basic stuff. In my family's.
Wow. So what is that like? What is that process like starting a computer lab in an entire country? Yeah. In another country.
Oh yeah, man. It was I'm glad that I did something that I was extremely comfortable with. I'm very comfortable with computers, right? So doing an international business is scary, but when you do something that is you're extremely comfortable with, it will lower some of it. Won't. You'll still have the anxiety, but at least hey, I know like something goes wrong, I can fix this thing. Yeah. I know, So yeah, it was just it was like Boys and Girls Club here in Memphis, Tennessee. They had some outdated computers. I was like, I'll take all of them. So I told my dad. My dad rented a big old Suburban. Yeah. We packed all the computers in there. We shipped them to Guyana. Found a school. cleaned out. And you can I have a YouTube video out there that documents the whole process.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where can we find it?
Just type in Guyana Coding Lab in YouTube and it will pop up.
Now spell Guyana.
Guyana. Yeah. Guyana is Guyana.
Okay, gotcha. Man, that's dope, man. So you have somebody that's there right now, like running it for you?
Yeah. So the school uses it, but pretty much the longer term, because that was just step one. Yeah. Longer term is that I want to routinely go back to Guyana and teach other people how to code or teach coding, and then I'm a partner with other organizations like Code Crew and stuff like that, BDPA, and then pretty much just upskill the talent there. It's the fastest growing GDP country in the world.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it has hit the biggest oil reserves, more oil than Saudi Arabia. About the same amount of oil. Like we estimate, like Venezuela has a lot of oil too, but a lot of politics has changed that up. So it's like a lot of world politics stuff.
That's dope. So you got this big vision.
Yeah.
About like your business over there in Guyana.
Yeah.
So how, I guess, do you self-fund it or did you receive funding?
That's all self-funding. I'm looking for grants. I applied a couple grants, passed on it. But I'm a for-profit. And this Guyana Coding Lab, that was the next step, right? Is to go down there routinely throughout the year and teach other people how to code.
Yeah.
And then, essentially it's a construction business, right? We're going into these labs, consulting these schools and community centers, seeing the requirements, assessing the electrical needs, doing all this stuff, getting the contracts together, building out the lab, making sure they have a comfortable space that's very cost effective.
Yeah.
If it's not cost effective, then they can't afford it. They'll say no. That's why they don't have one in the first place.
Right.
So, you gotta really do it. So yeah, it was fun. I mean that's not mine, but obviously I have my startup, which I spend most of my time with.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of your startup, Edesia.
Yeah.
So I met you guys through a business competition that we were putting on at Epicenter, which is a nonprofit here for entrepreneurs in the Memphis community. And so I met your business partner, and you guys actually did well through the business incubator and won second place in the competition. So how did Edesia come about? Like, where did that idea come from? Well, first of all, what is Edesia?
Yes, Edesia is the Roman goddess of food and festivals. And that's why we chose the name, right? And then essentially it's an app that's empowering food entrepreneurs to easily find catering gigs, booking gigs, get more customers. A lot of customers track your movements. So we focus on food trucks, but we also apply to food trailers, pop-ups, and carts as well. And yeah.
Awesome. So how did that idea come about?
Me, my friends, we went to the downtown Court Square Food Truck Festival, and it was so hot, and the lines were super long. And just literally not an app that allows you to just let me sit in the shade. And if you didn't know, food trucks got two lines. You have the line to wait to place your order, and then you have to wait till your food gets done, cooked. So you have two lines you gotta wait for. You could just put that in an app and enjoy the experience.
Awesome. Yeah, that's dope, man. So what is the dream for Edesia? Like, what's the big vision?
Yeah, man, the big vision for Edesia is that ultimately we definitely want to scale. I see it as an international platform where you can pretty much people in developing countries could use this app to start up their food business and be able to do it in a technology efficient way. Like it's managing is gonna like essentially if I was a caterer and I'll be able to create my profile in here and then find gigs and bid on them, and people can find me and request me for their events, making it like Upwork, but kind of for like food entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Take me through that process of you coming up with the idea. researching, figuring things out, and then developing the idea up until the first time you put it out there on the App Store? Like, what does that process look like?
Yeah, it was man, it was a long. Yeah, thinking about it, just like wow, it's a lot. You have to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've met so many other entrepreneurs who have their own journeys, but the one thing we all have in common, it took a lot of effort.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Yeah, I haven't met her like a really and there's different ways. Like, so essentially, my strategy was I got in early, so I was like, oh wow, you can create businesses. People who create businesses are like really sit on top of the food chain, food chain, socioeconomic chain, which is and they create a lot of value. They're very important people. It's okay, that's cool. And I'm like, and you really break down to the science of business, you realize that even in any type of like innovation, human innovation, eventually has to form into a business so it could scale the value of it. And when you are in the business sphere, you realize how important and valuable everybody is that plays into your organization. A business is a group of people achieving a similar vision,
right.
And it's just a very important aspect of life. Not the entire thing of life, but a good chunk of it.
Yeah,
at least a portion of it. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So from that day that you were in downtown Memphis, standing in line and coming up with an idea, when you came up with the idea, how did you run off with it yourself, or did you start with a team?
Yeah, I had a team. I had a software agency before then. We were building apps for other people, so we had a team.
So you were really big already in like tech, right?
Yeah, I'm 26. I started entrepreneurship when I was 17. And then my dad is an entrepreneur too, so I was just exposed to it at such a young age. So when I found a way where I could have contributed to it in my own unique way, I latched onto it immediately.
Yeah. What was that introduction to tech like?
Yeah, there's an organization here called Startco. They did a 48-hour launch, like where you start a business and over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And I was new to Memphis. It was like on Eventbrite, back when Eventbrite was real early. Now they're so big. I'm so proud of them. Anyway, I went out there and made an app website called Passaloo, which allows you to find unique souvenirs in people's cities.
Yeah.
Instead of generic stuff from a gift shop.
Yeah. Nice. Did you place in that competition?
Yeah, we got like second place or some other place.
Okay.
So I don't know, third place, I don't know. It was fun though. And then from there I went to the Entrepreneurship Center at the Crew Center at U of M, University of Memphis, and got involved with the Crew Center.
Yeah. So your story is actually similar to mine. Like I got into entrepreneurship at the University of Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I went to the entrepreneurship club. Everyone was coming up with ideas, and then I came up with an app idea, and there was this competition coming up called Startup Weekend. And so it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday you had to pitch your business. Saturday you worked on it, and Saturday and Sunday you worked on it. Sunday night you actually pitched it in front of a large crowd and judges. And so I won first place in that competition, like with the app that I had.
What was it? What was that?
So the app was called Impster, and so it was a.
How do you say that one more time?
Impster. IMPSTER.
Okay.
Yep. And so it was an anonymous social polling app that allowed college students to vote on each other's decision. And so I created a mock-up MVP, minimum valuable product, while I was there. Or that weekend, that's the only thing I worked on. And the thing was, and I told this story in my introduction. So the thing was, like, when we were presenting, it was me and 3 other guys. While we were presenting, at the beginning, everything was going smooth, but when it got time to present the minimum valuable product, the computer stopped working, right?
Mm.
And so that was my part. Like I was the one that was presenting the product. And so once I noticed that it wasn't working, I just jumped into the presentation, just started talking. Like I don't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, okay.
But a tech guy jumped on the stage and like, fixed it, and he was like, okay, it's good. And then I jumped back out. Jump back into the presentation and like, start presenting the app. And it was a time presentation. I think it was like 5 minutes. And we did not get finished with it. Like we didn't finish the presentation. And at the end of the presentation, the judges were supposed to ask us questions, right? And so we got 0 questions. Like these folks didn't ask us nothing. So like I'm mad, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, man, we done lost,
Dang.
like just upset. And then they started announcing the winners and all that. Then they said third place is so and so, second place is so and so.
Yeah, like,
and so I'm like, when they get to first place, I'm like, this team is gonna win, because this team like literally had a product that like could save somebody's life. Like that's what I thought, at least. Yeah. And so they said first place, hamster. Like bro, I literally jumped out of my seat.
Wow.
Like jumped out of my seat, and that's really the moment that stoked my entrepreneurship fire, if you will. Yeah. And so, but yeah, man, definitely. But you were in tech before that, right? Like you said, you were introduced to tech earlier.
Yeah. So why I played a lot of computer games. Computer games require you to do a lot of tinkering and settings and stuff. I used to, So that's like, so I was like exposed very nichely in tech. Yeah. Like we're talking like maybe 9, 10, I don't know, 11. Yeah. Then my brother from college, he went to UTK. He was a computer engineer. He had this broken laptop. His dog, he was plugged into the charger, knocked it over, cracked the screen. So it's like messed up. It had Linux on it. If you didn't know what Linux is, it's an operating system. It's yeah, if you know, you know. It's type of thing, right?
It's a tech thing.
It's a tech thing for sure. It's a for sure tech thing. Trust me, you don't want it. If you don't want it, it's a thing. Anyway, and then I used to try to play video games on that and try like just the operation of somebody trying to play video games on a Linux computer teaches you a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So then I didn't know what computer science was. I didn't know what computer coding was. I was just trying to play video games on technology. And then my brother, that same brother, I was in high school. I had like a 2.2 GPA. I had a 15 ACT score, and I was known as a smart kid. Yeah. And I had those scores. Like, gosh, I can only tell you what the other students were. Yeah. Anyway,
did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college. Yeah, I told you I went to. I graduated with a computer science degree at the University of Memphis.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, but this something that I was trying to tell you. Then VDP was like, "Hey man, come learn how to code." Yeah. I seen coding for the first time. I was like, "This is easy." And it was not like, trust me, I got humbled. Trust me, there was a humble. I got humbled many times. Yeah. But like, I just caught on to it super quickly, and then my brother gave me that same talk about college, and he's like, "There's a computer engineering major, and then there's a computer science major." Oh my gosh. I was like 17 years old, never heard of computer science my entire life. Yeah. Yeah, and then so then got into computer science. I would, got straight A's when I learned about college. You can, study more computers. High school, but just computers. I was like, time to focus a little bit more harder. I got good grades, and then got accepted to, got denied from every school but the University of Memphis. They're like, you know what, Kareem? Just looking at, they looked at my application. It seemed like you want to go to college. They said, come on in. I said, all right, bet. I went to the University of Memphis.
Nice. Man, that's actually pretty dope, man. So you mentioned your brother a lot. Is he a coder just like you?
Yeah. So actually, he's an ag tech bro. So he's more on the side of just using technology to connect farmland, sustainable building, and doing things more without tech. Because when tech automatically means electricity. Or some type of Wi-Fi signal or some radio or something like that, right?
You said electricity.
Yeah.
What is electricity?
Like anything like a lot of technology comes with semiconductors that do like electricity and making do commands.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you.
it's real.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a lot, but like in order to make a lot of technology, you need to use electricity.
Yeah.
Like these mics and apps, all these devices that we have.
Okay, so we use electricity.
Huh?
We use electricity right now.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Power.
Yeah. Power, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much. Then yeah, like then I guess computer science. I got into college, and then BDPA really prepared me through their high school coding competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to blaze through some of the harder weed out classes. I did get beat up a lot in some of the classes, but by making friends and creating alliances and just being in the moment, I was able to pull through and get a degree.
Yeah.
And then I was an entrepreneur, so there were so many opportunities for me to say, screw all this. I can make my own business, make my own money. But I was like, no. That's it. Yeah.
I got you, bro. So let's say I want to make an app, right? I want to develop an app. Give me 3 steps or more, if you can, of what I would need to do in order to develop that app.
Yeah, so you got to really understand why you're building this app.
Okay.
That's the number one thing. Spend time, like, why do you want to build it? Do you see yourself working on it for several years? A lot of people also on the internet, they say this advice, but they're like, you keep on thinking about it. If you keep on thinking about it, I'll say the first thing you need to do is work on it. Then if you keep on working on it, and then you're seeing your friends and family support you, they're saying like, hey, you're doing something, right? We don't know if it's the right thing or not. Don't ask us that. We just love you as being your friend and family. But we appreciate that, but we just see the passion in you, right? And so you see your friends and family encourage you on top of that, then work on it some more. Try to work on it some more. If you find yourself in a habit of working on it, these are all good signs of this is a good product to work on and your why is valuable. So that's pretty much it. Like, if you can pay attention to your project. So find your why, make sure you can pay attention to your project. That's like step 1. Like, this is the most important part. Yeah. Then the second part is then finding a problem to solve. Value creation, which is the hardest part about business creation, is value creation. And so your app has to create value for somebody. Yep. Immense value. And guess what, buddy? You're competing with Facebook. You're competing with Instagram, TikTok, and everybody else's app. You're competing with the phone app. You're competing with the SMS app. Yeah. So you find that niche that you're going to live on somebody's phone on. Like, imagine that you're living on somebody's iPhone or Android phone, and how you're going to create value for that user. Think like that. Then the last step is you should probably be a builder. There's different ways you can be a builder. Being a programmer is the best way to build a builder. There's right now underneath this, being a designer. Being a project manager is cool. Being a great seller is cool too. Just know that each level I went lower is less control you have of your company. Yeah.
All right. Gotcha, bro. So I'm gonna ask you this before I say something else. So would you recommend using like an outside source to develop your app? So, and I mean like outside source, like somebody overseas to develop your app.
Yeah. So first thing I would always say, I'm a big proponent as a person from South America, nearshore development. If you're doing any type of outsourced development, you should look into doing nearshore. What is nearshore development? Is working with people in Central America, working with people in South America. These people are great developers, and they speak English, and they're in the same time zone as you. Okay? Y'all don't understand that 12-hour time difference is going to kick you in your butt and your lifestyle. It's going to impact you if you have a family. It's going to impact you and your family. It's going to impact a lot of stuff. Just hire some people near us. But so with that kind of answering your question, you should contract out development work. But like I said, you have to be strategic. Don't worry about like if you're a business owner, like there's so many ways you can go about doing it. You have to go about what you're most confident and most strength, your most powerful way. Go about it that way. It's always the best way. But yeah, this is really hard to answer that question.
No, that was good. Like, I'm glad you said yes, because when I first moved to Memphis, right, I had thought of another app idea, and I'm not a coder. Granted, my major was in business management, information systems. I took computer science classes, but I hated coding. Like, I just hated coding. It wasn't my thing. However, who not how, right? Yeah. So, that's a book, Who Not How. Check it out. I had to find my who. And so I came up with the idea. I created a mock-up, the minimum value product, just like I did the previous app. Yeah. And so this time I looked for other people to be able to develop my app for me. Yeah. And I went on this website, and I found it was a whole bunch of people who were coders, and I found the cheapest one. They were in India. It was an Indian company. I know you're listening to. Let me finish. And so I was nervous, man. Yeah. It wasn't a small amount of money, but I was willing to invest in myself, right? And so I talked to one of my mentors before I did it, and he told me that entrepreneurship is like jumping out of an airplane and building a parachute on the way down, right? And so I was like, bet, I'm about to jump. And so I jumped, and but before I went, of course, I researched. I talked to these people. I saw the work that they've done before. Before I put anything down. And so one thing that I recommended was, instead of paying everything up front, we do it in milestones. And so milestones is basically like, I pay you this amount of money, you do this task. Once that task is complete, I'll give you the next amount, then you move to the next task. And that's how we did it. So I wasn't out of a lot of money up front. You know what I mean? And that's smart. And so that helped cultivate my trust in them, because I saw them working and progressing, and as they were building, I was getting excited, But I used them, and they developed my app, and they did an awesome job doing it. Even though I was scared initially, but we came up with a system that worked for both of us, and they developed me a great product. You know what I mean? So I had a good experience, working offshore, working with someone offshore. I didn't know about nearshore, or whatever. I was just looking for the cheapest option. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to get your thoughts on.
Yeah, how did the app come along? That's what I'm concerned about. What was the app idea? How did the app come along?
Right. So the app idea, it was originally called Allomy, and it was two words that I put together, like album and something. But it's transformed into EventSnap. And so what it was a social media app that event owners could use at their event, to where people can take photos, take videos, and have those photos and videos in one centralized location. So you'll go on the app, create an event, invite all your people to the event through the app, and they are also connected with each other. So participants can message each other, talk to each other. For instance, if we were at an event and I'm talking to someone else and you end up leaving early, so I didn't get a chance to connect with you. Yeah. But if I go on the app, I can see you there and send you a message there and say, hey, I was trying to connect with you, but you left. Would you be able to meet up for coffee or something like that? So we still have that means of connection. But it essentially was a place for event planners to house their videos and photos from their event that their participants took, right? And it was a networking tool too for the participants. So, and I got a pretty good amount of downloads on it, man. I went to it was a entrepreneurship conference in Nashville, 3686. I pitched it at that, and I was a hustler, bro. Here's actually what I did. So the night before, I printed out a whole bunch of flyers, right? Like, and I went there, and I was just like, hey, I have this app. I got these flyers. Do you mind if I like place them over the place? And like they're like, sure, you know. So I did. So went there, placed my flyers out. You know, the event started. People started downloading. People started using it, and like I had on my shirt at that time. It was called Alamy. I had on my shirt, Alamy, and so everybody was approaching me. They was like, "Oh, that's your app." Like, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool." You know, I was getting feedback, and what happened was like the reason why I eventually stopped it was the pandemic. You know, we weren't having events and nothing like that, and like I was just spending money like trying to like host it.
Yeah.
So I eventually just gave it up. But it was again one of those experiences that I learned from, and you know, a lesson that I learned that I eventually took, you know, to my next company.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, man. Like I said, our tech stories are pretty similar, man.
Yeah.
So back to you.
Yeah.
Where are you currently now with Edesia?
Yeah. So like I said, we're trying to do this whole Upwork for food entrepreneurs thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that is where I see the most value can be created. And then from there we can do more cool stuff. Honestly, I just want them to use our app so that we can order ahead. Mm-hmm. And that's really hard to do. You gotta kind of get out DoorDash and Grubhub, all that stuff, and they just got way more engineers than we do. Mm-hmm. And so what we're gonna do is find an area where there's money there and that they are not tackling. So we're gonna hit them there. See how it goes.
Awesome. Are you looking for investment?
No, man. Please. I'm not looking for investment. Okay. We got it. Please, guys. We got it from here.
Hands off.
Yeah. Do you need VC money to scale tech companies? 100%. Because tech companies are so expensive.
Hey, you know what you have for me? Yeah. You just asked yourself a question. Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, like traditional tech startups, they look for funding, right? And you guys are taking another route and saying, like, I got this. I don't want VC funding.
Please, because it's a scam. Y'all don't understand. It's like, and not to mention, VC funding has ruined your favorite apps. Mm. Facebook is a great example. I don't know if any viewers know, back when Facebook wasn't ruined by VC funding, it was fun and you were connecting with friends and it was blah blah blah. There's no, Mark Zuckerberg didn't build Facebook and was like, I'm gonna harvest everyone's data and sell it for billions of dollars. It was investors who was like, Mark, if you don't make my money, I'm taking this company from you. And he's like, I gotta do it. I gotta harvest y'all's data. Yeah. And he did it. And he drank the Kool-Aid and he was like, I'm not going back. Big money. So, and then that's where the whole age of data harvesting.
Yeah. I understand that point. And so, like, it sounds like, something that you're passionate about. Like, I don't want VC money.
I do want VC money, just not right now.
Okay, just not right now. You want the opportunity to grow your own, like, put your footprint on it, and then, go out and tell an investor, this is how I'm going to run my company. Yeah. If you're with it, come on. Yeah. If you're not, I'm moving on to the next web. We're going to be successful with or without you.
Pretty much. You really want that mentality. My friend was telling me, it's the standards for companies that know how to make money or know how to generate value is very low for investment. So if you want to raise money and you're making money with your tech startup, the standards are low. They will invest very easily. Take your company, but they'll invest very easily. Yeah. If you don't know how to make money, so if you're still figuring out how your product is, if you're not bringing in $5,000 or $10,000 a month in your early stage company, then you don't know how to make money with your app, with your business, and meaning that the bar for raising money is extremely high. So you're better off spending time with your customer, hanging out, figuring out what they want to buy, pay you for, scaling that, making some money, pay your bills, pay your rent, do this stuff, hit your living expenses with your business. Once you do that, then they can't tell you nothing. You can go raise money. They say, oh, I don't want to raise. Okay, move on. Because your rent's getting paid. Your bill's getting paid. Yeah. You paying your employees. So you want to, and just keep it small, keep it boutique, and then when you're ready to raise and go fast, raise money.
Yeah. So that's tough,
Yeah.
right? And like as I'm listening to you speak, it's tough, but it's you betting on yourself. So I'm reading this book right now called The Lean Startup by Eric Rice, and so it talks about this concept of the audacity of zero. And so, of course, he was telling a story about him having a tech company. However, when they put out their product, nobody was buying it, right? Or nobody was downloading it. Nobody thought it was cool. And so his thought was that was worse than them just not even having, like, his thought was if they put it out, and since they put it out and didn't get anybody, that was worse than not like putting anything out at all or just having zero, period. Because if they had zero users and they haven't put anything out yet, that's attractive to investors because they think about the possibility of what could happen. So they're dreaming like, okay, this could happen. And so like, okay, so it's like I said, like the possibilities are unlimited.
Yeah, okay,
but when you put it out there and now you got nobody wants it, so you kind of shot yourself in the foot. So like, what does it take for someone to have that type of mentality to be like, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm not going to listen to. I'm not going to take any investors' money. Granted, that's the traditional route, but I'm going to bet on myself. I'm gonna get all these downloads. Like what type of mindset does it take?
Business environment is the biggest thing I would possibly have to bring up here, y'all, because that's some Silicon Valley tech. What you're mentioning, not
language. It's cool. It's cool though.
Yeah,
I'll bleep it out.
Dude, my bad.
No, you good. You good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have kids watching this.
Yeah, my bad, dude. So anyway, so.
I love the passion though, bro.
Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry, man.
You good.
But pretty much, San Francisco tech culture allows entrepreneurs to raise tons of money and build really fast tech companies. Speed is everything. They have the system, they have the resources to do that. New York environment is like financial tech, financial stuff, right? Memphis, Tennessee's business environment is different. In fact, Memphis, Tennessee is the best city to bootstrap your business. Why? Rent is affordable. This is affordable. That's affordable. If I want to go fast and quick, go to San Francisco, raise a bunch of money, launch a product, get a bunch of users. If you don't have product market fit, your business fails. Move on to the next idea. And if you can't do that, then go get a job. That's how they act. That's how they treat their people out there. In Memphis, I would say no one knows what you're doing. You're in stealth mode. You can go outside and tell everybody in the street what your product is. You can go in the news, tell everyone what your product is. You do anything you can really do in Memphis right now and tell you, it's probably going to stay in this environment, right? And you can use that as an advantage, as an ultimate test bed, right? And then once you see product market fit, go launch your product and succeed. That's the strategy.
That's pretty dope, bro. Man, that's actually a really great strategy. I hope y'all caught that. So basically what I heard you say is start in a smaller market, get customer feedback, tell everybody in the street about what you're doing, and move in stealth mode.
Yeah.
Once you find the niche, then you dig into it, then launch your product and go.
Yeah.
So I love it, bro. So don't go straight to Silicon Valley. Like it's great. This has been a great interview, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. How can we, as a community, support you and Edesia and your dream?
Yeah, man. So if you know an event planner, if you're thinking about doing an event, bringing a food truck is a very good way to stand out. So you can just go to our website if you're looking to bring a food truck to an event and put in a request and then have a food truck show up. Just use our product.
Awesome. What's the website?
Edesia.catering. That's EDESIA catering. CATRING.
Awesome. So where can the people find you?
Like me personally, my Twitter is Dasilva Kareem, and same thing with my Instagram. And then for my social media, it's the same thing. Edesia Catering, and yeah.
Awesome. Last thing, close us out with a word of advice. Let's say we are just let the spirit move you. Just close us out with a word of advice. Whatever you got to give us.
Word of advice is that I've seen the entrepreneurs that always succeed are the ones that keep on swinging. And then the best, so just keep on swinging, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then remember that business is a small portion of your life, just a small portion. Your career, small, and that's what business is, career. So small portion of your life, you are a human being and worth so much value in other aspects. Please take care of your other aspects of your life.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, bro. Well, this has been another great episode of the I Got Dream podcast. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms at I Got Dream Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Hey, we love you. We'll be back next week. Y'all have a great and beautiful day. Peace. Bam. Thank you for listening to this episode. I know you just received a lot of value. So look, here's what I want you to do now. Go to our social media platforms on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok at I Got Dreams Podcast everywhere, and like, comment, subscribe to all those channels, and let's continue the conversation on there. Look, I told you before, we are creating the ultimate accountability group for entrepreneurs, and we want you to be a part of that group. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to our channels at I Got Dreams Podcast everywhere, and we'll see you there. Peace.